We've always flown to long-haul destinations. We think there's a lot of expansion in pretty much every geography, whether it be North America, Europe, Australasia, Asia, Africa, and that's why we've got 570 aircraft on the order books in large part to fulfill that mission. But when we say global, it's not just about network breadth and reach. It's actually about the customer base. Historically, Air India was carrying Indian travellers or members of the diaspora, of which there are 35 million. But to be a true global carrier, I think we need to appeal and attract people, irrespective of background, nationality, who choose us because we are good, not because we are from any particular country.
Or because you're cheap.
Yes.
It's not an achievement to fill the plane. Anybody can do that by discounting across. But you need to become the airline people want to fly.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Well, reliability, product, service, price, reputation, consistency, visibility. You know, we've gone actually made good progress in this, notwithstanding the fact that our own journey is incomplete. Namaste, how are you all? So we had Manish Malhotra, who is a Bollywood designer, design this uniform.
Yeah.
And I think it was eagerly anticipated. It took a few months to roll out, but you like it?
Yes.
Yes? No, this whole facility is new. It's been set up in the last 18 months or so. And this whole grooming presentation function was just not existent. People were essentially left to their own devices. India has such a strong service culture. It's a very warm, hospitable place. Our crew are naturally warm and hospitable. And we want to make sure that the whole package is wrapped up and looking presentable and feeling confident and comfortable in the process.
Was it a weird experience coming from a very highly polished, sophisticated operation like SQ in all its extremities and then coming here?
Well, yes, but it was almost a blank canvas in some respects. Clearly there was an airline operating slightly less than 100 aircraft. But it didn't have the supporting infrastructure to take it to where we are now, or indeed where we want it to be. And so it was a case of really building everything at once. So in addition to transforming the airline, we had to build training academies, we had to build flight simulator academies, we've had to set up a flying training school, we're setting up a maintenance base, and merge 4 airlines. So I think it's more of a case of excitement and opportunity that you very rarely would have the chance to do more than one of those things in a career, yet we've had to do all of them at once.
Anyone there? Anyone needs help? Anyone needs help? Okay, my equipment. Wonderful.
So this sort of facility, because you can actually be practical and hands-on, it helps you.
Yes. We have a clear mind of how to do the drill.
Yes.
It's very helpful.
So Tim at Emirates gave a wry smile at the suggestion that you can shift the hub from the Gulf down to India.
So it's not a winner-take-all environment. The hub's geography, the centre of gravity of international aviation will move. I think it will move closer to India. Now, can India replicate the model that exists in a city-state where everything is under essentially a single P&L and control? Probably not. It's a big, diverse democracy, but it can be a lot more integrated and efficient and effective than it has been in the past.
Because all you've really got to do is get me off one plane, get me, if I'm in business class, give me a nice lounge with a shower and a decent meal, and get me on the next plane and make sure my luggage follows with it. It's very simple in a sense, but it's got to be done.
Yeah, look, and what are the ingredients to do that? One, you need to have airport infrastructure operated in a professional and modern way. So most of the big airports in India have been put out to private concession. There's a lot of investment comes in. The airport experience is very good, but it wasn't really built for the connecting traveller in mind because there wasn't an airline that was focused on that strategy. Now, Air India has been privatised. It has private capital, long-term strategy, very clear on what it wants, and so the airports can build to what we would like. The final part of the ecosystem is really the administrative state. Security processes, border processes, use of technology, and we're not needing to reinvent the wheel there because it exists and is on display in many other parts of the world, including domestic travel in India, which is paperless. The Maharaj is obviously the icon of Air India. We decided, obviously, we had to retain it. We've retained it in a lot of our service training and the ethos of warmth and hospitality, but we've also kept it as a depiction on our first and business class cutlery, glassware and because it really, I think it stands out as a nod to the past, but in a more contemporary way.
I'm fortunate in my hotel. I seem to be staying in the Maharaja Air India suite, which is just delicious. And I asked people about it, and what became clear is that there is a huge affection for this, both for the symbol and the heritage and the pride for what it all stood for and will stand for.
Yes.
And to that extent, that's an enormous, it's something you can really capture and play with.
Oh, it's an absolute privilege. This is a 92-year-old airline that was started by India's first commercial pilot, J.R.D. Tata, part of the Tata family that now owns Air India, the airline having been nationalized for a few decades in the interim. So we're restoring the airline back to the company that started it. We're bringing the airline, which once was one of the best in the world, a little bit tarnished in the ensuing years, we're bringing it back to the forefront of aviation. We're doing it at a time where India is increasingly part of the global supply chain and being seen as a significant player around the world. We're doing it on a nation that wants to spread its wings and be seen in a certain way around the world. So it's not been as difficult as you might think.